Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a tiny village by the name of Kamiki. Legend tells of a horrible beast that threatened the residents. It also tells of the wolf that risked it all to protect them. Controlling the very fabric of existence, this wolf stood up against a beast many times its size and banished the darkness. This ethereal wolf's valiant act urged an era of tranquility. The villagers' hearts swelled with respect and adoration of the wolf. Hey peoples, it's Titanium here and welcome to Let's Play Okami HD. So this will be the third series going on at my channel at the moment. I already have Paper Mario and the Pokemon Soul Link, but you know what? I'm crazy, so let's put even more work on me. But yeah, I wanted to do... I don't know. I just wanted to do Okami. I really don't have a reason at all. I am playing the HD version. This game is also available on PS2 and Wii, having their differences, but I feel like the HD version is a mix of both. But I'll explain that later. For now, we're just going to start a new game. Loading. And it's gonna tell the same story, I think. Story by Hideki Kamiya. I said that name right. So yeah, it's the same story, I'm pretty sure. Probably. Long ago, a tiny no, it's different. A tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. With a body like a mountain and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks, its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. The horrific beast. Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that. This game is dialogue heavy. There is a lot of dialogue in this game. Also, this game is just long in general, so be prepared. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. Also, I might butcher a lot of pronunciations in this game, but don't kill me. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village, and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. People assumed the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi, I don't know. It's Japanese, it's saying stuff differently, I guess. It's Japanese history. This game, whatever, I'll get into that later. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. The warrior Nagi attempted many times to challenge the wolf. but his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had arrived. A white-plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. This game uses a lot of big words that I don't think I can pronounce. Whatever. By piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by the sight, determined to put on a, their names were similar. I got confused at first. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the beast cave in place of his beloved. And if I'm not taking it seriously, then whatever, I don't care. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, served as Orochi's home. As Nagi stood bravely before the entrance, a beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leaped with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. On and on he sliced, well into the moonless night. My throat's acting up. But Orochi's hide was like steel. The blade left nary a scratch. Great start. At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Bearing its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt toward Orochi. Orochi reared its terrifying head, readying its fangs for battle. The beginning of this game is really slow, so I apologize, but it's a good game, I promise. The two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. Also, if any of the background stuff that's going on in my house now picks up on the recording, there's not much I can do, okay? I'm on a tight schedule here. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. Wow. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening. Pressed the wrong button. A gigantic tree suddenly sprouted forth, shielding the wolf. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand, however. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi. Or Orochi. That's, I don't know. People will, you'll be surprised on how mad people get if you say one, like, Japanese word wrong. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow, but Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly, the black clouds overhead dissipated. It's the moon. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary, channeling all his strength into his scarred and battered arms. He leapt ferociously toward Orochi, his sword poised high. The golden sword danced in his hands, looked like a puppet on a string. One by one, Orochi's fearsome head separated from their owner. My throat! They don't want me to be reading this much. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. In that instant, the curse that plagued the villagers was lifted. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. God damn it. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, then closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki village, in honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits. The villagers erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukuyomi and placed inside the moon cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. 100 years had passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. Oh no! It's a shrine of sorts. Is this the legendary sword? Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend. Nothing but a fairy tale. It's Orochi. Oh, this. Ah, you idiot. I don't think that's an actual character in the game. I think that just may be some random guy only in this intro. Oh, he who seeks power, he who has broken my bonds, speak the words, I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. God. You got the hell out of there. Yeah, just like Paper Mario, I've beaten this game only once, so... unlike Paper Mario, though, that one time I beat this game, that was the only time I've ever played the game, so... I'm gonna get stuck a lot. It's gonna seem like I've never played it before, but yeah. It's been a while, so hopefully I can remember. And now loading. I'm probably just gonna cut out loading screens. Whatever. The horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. Ooh, who is that? Wood Sprite Sakuya. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There is no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years. I spent protecting this area. I suck at reading. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We've never needed your power more. Shine your divine light upon this broken and polluted world. Let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. Yeah, boy! Okami Amaterasu. Ah, such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. How delightful to see that the Savior whose brave sacrifice sealed away the evil demon so many years ago has not changed one bit. I read it like an idiot. Seeing you emerge after so many years spent as a statue brings happiness to my heart. I'm gonna take a nap. Bruh. Amaterasu. Gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon, but never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. What is this? Has something stolen its way into my robe? Ho ho ho! Ho ho ho! Ah! She's already done laughing. Phew! What on earth? You again. Ow, 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 ow. Are you nuts? Boy, for a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting. That's all. Were you napping in my clothes again, Bug? Bug? I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Isun. Wandering artist, Isun. I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long till you're bowing before my great breast. Oh, the way the text scrolls in this game is gonna fuck me up so bad. Well, what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing, no? What's with you, furball? You look kinda down in the dumps. Actually, you kinda look familiar. You look kinda familiar. Got it! You look just like that statue of Shiranui. And, oh, goodbye. Whoa! What do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messing with the great Isun. Don't make me use my prized sword, Denkomaru, against you. Whoa. What's going on? Whoa, what's that growling sound? And why is it so dark anyway? Oh, great God Amaterasu. I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki Village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free, and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world. The trees return to normal, huh? That Sakuya girl sure said some weird stuff. The villagers' spirits are being kept inside the fruit. That's the fruit. That girl said if you cut it down, the village will be restored. But it's awfully high up there. If you don't use some kind of special power, there's no way you're gonna reach it. This darkness is really getting to me, too. A lot can happen while you're taking a nap. So now we are actually in control of Amaterasu, who, if you couldn't have guessed, is the main protagonist of the game. But as soon as we gain gameplay, we're gonna have to end it off here. Yes, I know. So, in the next episode of Let's Play Okami, we will be restoring the village. Hopefully. See you guys then. Peace, peoples!